Hey guys, Greg here, Star Drifter Astrology, and this is the weekly update where I bring you the most significant astrological events for the coming week. And because we have a full moon coming up here on Monday, the intense energies are building, and I'm going to take you through the exact aspects and configurations that are involved in this particular full moon energy. And they do offer life-changing, opportunities, providing we can take the advantage and act appropriately when the world around us, when occurrences happen and life happens to us. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the energies and see what's actually going on. So 19th of August. Now, what we have is the Aquarius full moon. That's tomorrow evening. Through this day, the 19th of August is jam-packed with exact configurations, exact aspects. So we also have the Jupiter square Saturn. We have Sun square Uranus. We have Mercury conjunct Sun. We have Venus opposing Saturn. This actually creates a T-square configuration as well. Then we're going to have the moon changing sign later on in the evening before we head into the next day. So much going on this day of the full moon on Monday. And we're also going to have through the week, then the moon will eventually move into Aries. The sun will actually move into Virgo. So there's going to be a huge shift in energy there around midweek. Then we have the moon entering Taurus. And then we've also got this current energy, which began Sunday, and that's Mercury square Uranus, which is an ongoing transit, which has been going on since July. So let's get stuck into the actual energies of what we can expect, and then I will break these down for you, and hopefully you can relate this to your own chart. If you can't relate it to your own chart and you don't have a chart of your own, drop me a line. I can do you up a chart and send it to you and show you, approximately, if and let you know ideally if your chart's going to be affected or whatever. So you can feel free to do that, and when I have time I will forward you the details. So the full moon is actually in 27 Aquarius down here. Sun is up here, 27 Leo, in a conjunction with Mercury, and Uranus is down here at 27 degrees of Taurus. So that's creating an exact T-square aspect with all three of these huge players in a tight T-square configuration. Now, what kind of energies is being activated? Let's break it down in really simple terms. If we take Leo to represent individual, the single person, Aquarius representing the collective. So there's a balance there of how the individual relates to the collective, so to speak. The Uranus is squaring off, the Uranus and Taurus is squaring off to these energies. This creates a certain amount of tension, and this energy is fixed. So this is things that have been life situations that have been going on for a while, but now change is coming, change is imminent, because that's what Aquarius represents. It's moving forward, it's reinventing, it's moving society forward, okay? Like moving away, keep the change going, improvement over time. So the planet Uranus in particular is represented with revolutions, and we can look at that in terms of industrial revolution or even internal revolutions, in countries like nations having new leaders through revolutions and things like that. And whenever Uranus was first discovered, we were just after the American Revolution, on the verge of the French Revolution. So huge changes within the world sphere on that level. But on a personal level, this is where you suddenly awaken and realize things that you didn't realize before. And then you're instantly transformed, you're changed. So it's taking your life then to a new level. That's on an individual kind of level. So the overall theme of this full moon energy is about breaking away from or being forced to make alterations to the current structures of your own personal life, your own personal environment. So let's have a look. Aquarius, it's ruled by the planet Uranus. And because it makes a tight square to that planet Uranus, Uranus also rules the sign of Aquarius. So it's like a double whammy. This energy, it creates an efficiency within the universe to make these changes occur or make the realizations within you occur. So Aquarius is a collective sign and it's fixed, meaning that the energy is there. It's something you have to work through. It's something you cannot get away easily from. It's something that needs your focus. And being an air sign, it's the highest triplicity in the air element. And therefore, its theme is relationships, basically, but relationships with groups, relationships with communities, relationship with friends. So generally, Aquarius, being an air sign, it's without emotional attachment, it can be disconnected emotionally. So there may be a bit of distance between other people on a deep emotional level. So it generally likes freedom and doing its own kind of thing when it wants to. And there can be an element with Aquarius as well about fitting in, but also not fitting in. So you can choose which category or try and analyze which category you're in. Do you fit in with society as a whole? Or do you feel part of the collective going forward? Or do you feel kind of separated? Because these are all things we can talk through, in personal consultations. Why, if you don't fit in, why do you not fit in? And what is the unique path going forward for you? Or maybe you do fit into society and you want to improve it. Like, how do you go about making the changes that you can see to improve humanity as a whole? So other aspects of Aquarius, it's being inventive, improving what already exists. Idealism, the intellect, can be rebellious, but also revolutionary. And it's also associated with technology and upgrading things, renewing things. So this could be like new laptops, new phones, perhaps a new digital watch, upgrading, the technology that you use to get through life on a daily basis. So on the opposite end, we have the Sun in Leo, and that's in a conjunction with Mercury. And what the Sun in Leo represents is individualism. It's your creative expression, what you do for fun, enjoyment, how you express your own personal artistic talents. Are you charismatic? That's a big Leo thing, your own personal charisma, leadership qualities. Do you have like a royal, regal kind of presence? What do you deserve? What makes you special? These are Leo kind of themes. And with the current retrograde motion of Mercury, in conjunction here to the Sun, we're being asked to review these things in our own personal life. So you can review, any of the themes above here, in terms of individualism and also how you relate to the collective as well. So this could be about you sharing your talents with other people in a group setting. Do you like to be the one who entertains, or would you rather be on the other end and be entertained by someone with a wonderful, godlike creative talent? So it can be about recognition from society as well for the things you do, the things you contribute to society, being recognized for that. So the ongoing transit, now this one has been going on since the 21st of July. It's Mercury square Uranus, and we're now mid-stage on that through the retrograde motion. Well, we're coming up, it will be finishing in September. But what you can think of now is like what occurred in July. What is the ongoing theme with this transit? Will it come back? Will it come back to haunt? Or will it come back? Will it give you have another chance to action this further? And what about what's coming up in September? What's coming up? which can finally put an end to an ongoing saga. So let's look at the themes. It's that these two planets are making aspect in the fixed signs of Leo and Taurus. So these could be themes around, communication and learning, ideas, sudden moments of clarity, eureka moments, genius moments going off in the mind. This can also be very visionary, inventive, how you reinvent, sudden breakthroughs, ideas, genius moments. But the actual aspect creates a tension and forces you to do some kind of action and maybe take something by force, or force yourself to do something, break out of a mold, so to speak, do something that takes you out of your comfort zone and takes you to a new level. So we also have the Jupiter square Saturn aspect, which is part of a triple hit. So this occurs on the same day as the full moon. Now, there's a retrograde motion as well, which comes later on, and that will be active again. This transit comes active again on the 24th of December this year, but then it completes around June, 15th of June, 2025. So this is a 3-hit transit, and the theme is here, it's beginning with an Aquarian full moon. So that's the energy that this current transit is associated with. So going forward, the next 3 hits in this transit, they may be carrying the energy of this Aquarian full moon, like breaking free. Now, what do Jupiter and Saturn represent? Jupiter is growth. Saturn would be the restriction. So the two energies of these planets contradict each other. Jupiter is expansion. Saturn is contraction. So you can think of the Jupiter energy in terms of growth, like through education, foreign travel, understanding foreign cultures, which is a theme at the minute. So this is likely to keep going on, a continuing theme right up until this transit finishes, where we would hope to get some kind of resolution to all these issues with foreign culture, immigration, which is causing such an issue, such a problem through the whole of the UK right now. So, yeah, Saturn is a discipline, rules. So the rules need to be revisited, reconsidered in terms of all this upset that's going on. So education is a particular way of dealing with this and educating the people of the current situation, how it works, and explaining it more, basically. So this Jupiter, this is a T-square configuration, which brings Venus into it as well. And Venus makes an exact opposition here to Saturn, and also a square to the Jupiter and the Mars conjunction there in Gemini. So this is being activated now. So this can bring up themes to do with relationships or to do with money. And Saturn says it's time to review these situations. So if we look at the Venus energy in terms of relationships, it's opposing Saturn. So it's saying, okay, how stable am I in my relationship? Are there foundational issues in the relationship? Do we need to set new rules, boundaries? Do we need to be more disciplined in relationships? Or is there a controlling kind of aspect, a controlling thing going on between one person and another? The Jupiter square Mars aspect is saying, growth, you still need to grow. The relationships are important. They're significant. They can provide structure in your life. But the Jupiter Mars say, you still need growth. You still need to progress your own life as a human being. So keep moving forward as well. So that could be, we could relate that to money as well in terms of finance. How are you with your personal finance? Are you overspending? Do you not save enough? These are all issues to consider as well. So maybe perhaps investing or cutting down on debt, these are all things that can be considered with this particular aspect as well. So we will also have the moon shifting into Pisces on the evening of the 19th as well. So the moon's moving into a mutable water sign, which will really, the energy will kind of shift once the moon moves into Pisces, and it will be a bit more relaxing after the intensity of all this energy building up. So our feelings will then be drawn towards dreams, compassion, empathy, a collective oneness, but also towards escapism. Like, how do you escape? Do you escape into something creative where you can let your imagination flow? Or do you escape into alcohol or drugs to let you take yourself away from the current strife of your situation or the world, so to speak? But the strong spiritual themes with Pisces as well, because it generally comes with an awareness that everything's connected and there's a superpower, a more intelligent creator behind the whole thing. So it's the awareness of the whole spirituality of life in general and the world. So creative talent, fantastic for during the Pisces moon, get shifted and chill out, relax, and involve yourself in some kind of creativity and allow that creative energy just to flow through you, that divine force. Let it flow, let it channel flow you and create. But things can also seem quite chaotic as well. Like, there's so much going on. Where do I begin to even deal with all this? So meditation is a key thing, a very significant, important thing you can do to relax the mind and de-stress. So then we will have on the 22nd, the moon will shift into Aries, which is cardinal fire sign. That's about firing on ahead, initiating things with great speed, going fast, activating those personal challenges you have, realizing what your drive, what your passion is, and that's going forward, leading the way. And sometimes you need to be careful with Aries energy, because sometimes you can do things without thinking and then maybe regret it later on. So it's important to consider things before you do anything drastic. Okay, so it's about getting things done and making a start to getting things done, and it's quite self-focused as well. So then we move into Taurus. This is the moon, still the moon, and we will be focused more on the physical self, like your possessions, your belongings. What belongs to you? How do you work with your money, your finance? What's your personal values, boundaries, foundation, how you build things going forward to create a stable foundation going forward. And the reliability of things in your life, what's unreliable, what's reliable, and how can you make things more steady going forward. It's also about trusting what is actually real. And the thing with Taurus as well is about personal luxuries. So don't be afraid to spoil yourself whenever the moon enters Taurus. Treat yourself to something nice. So then we also have a huge shift in energy here when the sun enters Virgo on the 22nd midweek. So the sun will move out of creative Leo into Virgo, but the energies will change. They will focus to a completely different earthy kind of energy. So that's about getting back to understanding your personal routine. What you do as well. Virgo is a very busy sign, so it's about what you do in service to others, how you analyze things, how you create efficiency in life. What kind of skills do you have? What kind of skills do you use on a daily basis? Or what more skills can you learn to make more efficiency in your life? There's also a big focus with Virgo on health, because it's one of the signs that rules the body. It's the physical part. It's earthy. It's the body. It's physical. So mind, body, and soul. It brings another thing to mind where we have the three levels of life and the understanding of life, and that's the physical, three planes of existence is the terminology I'm looking for. So we have the physicality, the physical level of life. Then we have the mental level, And then we have the spiritual level. So it's important to consider these three planes, especially when the energy shifts into Virgo. It'll be, how do you balance all three? How do you do them all? So you want to be able to take time, manage your routine so that you can consider, look after your body. So that could be in terms of diet, in terms of exercise. What do you eat? What do you eat? Do you eat healthily? Do you exercise regularly enough? What do you do for your mind? Do you read books? Do you educate yourself? And on a soul level, what do you do to nourish your actual soul? What's your outlook? How do you feel about spirituality? Do you have a purpose, a meaningful purpose in life? All these things. So with Virgo as well, life may seem quite chaotic. There's loads of stuff to do, lots of people that need your help. And the negative aspect of that is thinking, oh my goodness, there's so much going on here. I need to escape. So, and that's when people can turn to drugs or alcohol. But as we spoke of with the Moon and Pisces earlier on, a healthy way to escape would be like meditation or creativity. So letting the mind escape downtime in a positive way. So the chart for Northern Ireland, because I'm a Northern Ireland based astrologer, I do keep an eye on what the current transits are doing in Northern Ireland, and I connect it up with what's happening in the news and things like that as well. And it's all very relevant. Like for this week in particular, we will still have this Mars-Jupiter conjunction going on, and that's on the descendant of the Northern Ireland chart. We're also going to have Venus conjunct Saturn in the Northern Ireland chart, which activates that T-square. So the 7th house of relationships are activated as well. And the ongoing Mercury square Uranus conjunction is actually, the square is in conjunct with the Northern Ireland Mars. So this is the Mars placement here in the chart for Northern Ireland. And as you can see, Uranus, this is transiting Uranus. It's on the same degree, 27. So, and that creates a T-square with the Mercury and the Sun here and the full moon in Aquarius. So this energy is deeply impacted, deeply affected. This wakes up the Mars energy of the chart. So this is about driving forward. Mars is identity. So it's how do we identify? It's one of the planets we use to identify how we go forward, how we focus, what's our drive, what's our purpose. So this is being activated with this full moon energy. So there are chances of more extreme action around this particular conjunction. Now, I'm hoping that the violence is finished and there's no more. But with this energy, there is an increased chance of extreme action, volatility, revolutions, rebellions, but in a positive way. This is an opportunity to reinvent how we go forward. Like Uranus rules Aquarius. Aquarius is the collective, the community as well. Like in Northern Ireland, we have our issues. Like it's always been, the sectarian issues, nationalism versus unionism, so to speak. But now there seems to be other issues. It's the immigrant thing that has come into it. So we need to create a new vision going forward that can include everyone. No more separation. It's about inclusion. So Mercury retrograde activates this energy as well. So there's perhaps a need to educate, communicate better, learn, move forward, and welcome diversity and welcome inclusion for everyone. So other things worth considering here in the personal horoscope. How do all these energies relate to your personal horoscope? Like, are there any particular houses, aspects, or special configurations in your own birth chart being activated by this? What personal planets are activated? any angles in your chart, like the ascendant or the midheaven, or any personal themes that could be come up again, that may come up whenever they're activated by this full moon. So perhaps you don't know your own personal chart and you would like to get to know it better, get to know your main themes, your main energies. So I am available for personal consultations. So you can contact me. You can find me on Facebook through Stardrift or Astrology. I'm also here on YouTube. You can contact me through that. I can also provide advice, or, well, I'm not an advisor, so to speak, but I can interpret your chart and give you the energies in terms of career, relationship, how to develop yourself personally, create self-awareness. And we can also provide a forecast going forward for the year ahead. So these are all things really worth thinking about, because when you understand your own astrological energy, these are the energies that were gifted to you at birth from the universe. You are a universal being. So it's better to use that universal energy to your advantage rather than to your disadvantage by allowing the external world to influence you. But once you understand your own personal energies, then you can move forward. Okay, so these are just things worth considering. So I want to say again before I go, look, thank you for watching. If there's anything in particular you want to bring up, comment on or contact me about, certainly feel free to do so. And I will be back. I'll keep doing my updates on my Facebook page, to do with the moon and other significant transits that are going on different days. I'll keep doing that. So yeah, keep checking the Facebook page and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I will be back next week with more. So thank you.